YouTube. This is Toy Customizer Wake Angel 2001, bringing you another custom action figure commission. This one is for PK Ivysaur and is Mighty the Armadillo. Now, Mighty is actually a unique character in that he hasn't officially been in a game since Knuckles Chaotix in the mid-90s. Because of this, that means that there is no modern interpretation of what he's supposed to look like, the same way that we have Sonic, Knuckles, Amy, etc. Of course, he's still a character in the comic book series, but that's a different continuity. It's done by a different art team, and besides, various artists always have a different idea or interpretation of what he's supposed to look like. So there is no definitive modern design for Mighty the Armadillo, even though he's an actual character. So with that said, this particular Mighty is going to be based off of this fan art I've been showing. It was drawn by Wrongs1234 from DeviantArt. Really talented artist. Maybe you should go check him out. The gallery is in the description below. As per usual, Mighty will be made from a Sonic figure. Although in this case, PK Ivysaur wanted me to use Knuckles' torso to give him more of a strong-looking chest. Since super strength is supposed to be Mighty's deal. As for modification, usually I would build the shell first and then attach it to the body. But I had problems with always accidentally breaking the shell and having to do fixes later on because of that. So this time I kept the head attached to the body after I cut the spines and ears off. Then I sculpted the shell on top of it all. This Mighty also has a tail. There are official artworks where he has a tail, and there are official artworks where he doesn't have a visible tail. So if you're wondering which one is correct, the answer is yes. After a paint job, it's starting to look a lot like Mighty. To match the fan art, the eyes are a nice teal color instead of the blue I usually make them. And his skin is a nice flesh tone this time instead of the usual yellow. Again, I'm just trying to match the fan art. And again, can't really nitpick this because there's no official modern representation. Funny how I can just keep on using that as an excuse whenever you come up with a thing like, Mighty doesn't look like that. How do you know? Mighty doesn't look like anything, except in classic form, or in comic book form, and this is neither. Okay, I'm pretty sure some of you hate me now. The hands and gloves, yeah. I just had to sculpt on that stuff that looks like the drawing. And the shoes the same way. I cut off the shoe buckles, made some modifications to the sock cuffs and to the stripes, and everything looks a lot better once it's painted. So yeah, that's how that is. And it's pretty simple. Oh yes, this is epoxy sculpt. That's what I'm using for customs from now on, because, well, it's harder to work with, but the results are just that much better. So, can't argue it. That is Mighty the Armadillo. I know what you're thinking. Looking at these pictures, the arms look like they're a radically different color from his painted belly, muzzle, and ears. But I need to remind you all that this is just a little detail revealed by the flash from the camera. Under natural light to the naked human eye, it is virtually impossible to tell the colors, unless you're like holding it under direct sunlight or have your eye right up against the figure. I'm holding the figure in my hands right now, and I really can't tell the difference between the beige of his arms and the beige of his skin unless I get right up to the figure. And I just spent the end of this video having to explain myself. I wish I didn't have to, but people always bring it up in every video, no matter how many times. Okay, so it comes on.